Here we go. That's the right mic. Hello. Welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We are going back to Gaia Project. I got like 4 more factions I think I gotta do before I got through all 14. Obviously, a couple of the early ones I was still figuring some things out about this game, and I'm still figuring things out about this game. This is definitely the one I come back to, as I've said before, and it's like, what is going on, and why am I terrible at Gaia Project? More so than the rest of the games I feature pretty regularly. It's like that first game back, it's like relearning a new language. Again, so or a second language again. So here we are. Like the Xenos a lot, they do some really cool things. Starting with a third mine is pretty strong. They're Planetary Institute has some really cool dynamics. It allows you to build a federation with only 6 power, and obviously if you get this thing where your Planetary Institutes and your academies are worth 4 power each, I mean that really means you can build a federation with one of those structures and a mine or a research lab. That's really bananas. So you can get a lot of federations out. If I don't get four federations on the board this game, it means I probably did something very wrong and my strategy just kind of blew up in my face, which is possible with the Itars, who is my opponent for today. Again, playing against the Atoma on hard. What do the Itars do? Well, their faction action is that they cover 2 power Q.I.C actions with every faction action, right? So if they have a power Q.I.C card that comes up normally, you're only covering 1, but if you pull up their faction action card, and again, they start in their deck with 2 of these, they can start covering up these power Q.I.C actions very quickly. Obviously, I have those covered with the standard tech tiles. So with the Xenos, I played 2 warm-up games. One I got utterly destroyed. So we're going to try not to repeat that. The second one, I actually didn't build my Planetary Institute until the 4th or 5th round. And that worked out really well with the way the round scoring worked out. And I ended up scoring about 180 points. The Itars will get a lot of points. They are a little bit hindered when it comes to a lot of the game end scoring tiles because they will generally not develop a lot on the board, but they will get a ton of points. Their faction action gives them 4 points every time, and again, they really do get in your way, but they will end up somewhere between 135 and 150, which is normal for the Atoma. I do find the Itars one of the harder Atomas. I think in Hashalasic is the hardest Atoma on hard, at least. I do find the Itars about second because they just score a lot of points and they can make your life so difficult and get in your way so much. Otis, hi. I think the ones you have to do are Ambas and Itars and best codes. Yes, I've been asked to do best codes, best codes, whatever. I definitely need to get them on the channel. So Otis, I think you are correct, and hello to you, sir. Good to see you here again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just get this setup going. I do have my 3 mines set out here. I get an extra Q.I.C because I start on the level 1 of the AI track. I'm starting at level 0 everywhere else. The Itars start at level 0 everywhere. You will notice I am using the gray for the Itars as opposed to the white. It's just a lot more friendly for the camera. I find the white a little bit glaring, and it just is what it is. So I'm just going to do it with the gray. But again, everything, I have the satellites. I'm just use all the gray. But again, that is the Itars. So we still have, when they go to build a mine, they are 1 terraforming step away from being able to build a mine on the gray planets and 1 terraforming step away from doing the blue. And then again, that works around that circle as it normally does. All right, so let me get to that website. Here we go. I am not a robot, at least last time I checked. Cool, it believed me right off the bat again, and here we go. So again, I use boardgamehelpers.com. I find that the best website for this that I could find, and they do a really good job with it. So the faction token at the top of the terraforming track is going to be 6 points and 2 and 2 knowledge, which is fine. We're going to have 2 points for every mine. Again, these are your advanced tech tiles. 2 points for every mine that you have on the board if you take that tile at that moment. 3 points for every mine that you build from the time you take that tile on. We have every time you pass, you get 1 point for every planet type that you have colonized. Here we have, if you take this tile, 1 ore for every sector you're in at the time you take that tile, 2 points for every sector you're in at the time you take this tile, and 3 ore once around. Don't love those tech tiles. much at all. I do like going for the advanced tech tiles with the Xenos because you have so many Q.I.Cs, and if the Itars allow me to take this Q.I.C action, grabbing a tech tile could be nice. So I would have loved like the 4 or 5 points for Federation token or things like that, but we did not end up with the greatest arrangement of advanced tech tiles here. These standard tech tiles, we have the 4 credit around. Don't hate that. I really like those income generators to be here, and then like the point grabbers to be down here. So this is going well so far. 1 ore and cycle 1 every round. 4 knowledge at the time you take this. I'm sorry, not 4 knowledge. I lied. 1 knowledge per uh, planet type that you have colonized at the time you take this tile. At the last 2 games I played, it happened to be 4 knowledgeable times, so that's just in my head. You get 1 ore and 1 Q.I.C at the moment you take that tile. You get in income 1 knowledge and 1 credit. Really like that right there. And then we get the cycle 4. Now, in my last game I did play, it was like one of the first times I've really ever managed to successfully run up the knowledge track. And that was kind of instigated by the fact that this exact tech tile was on the knowledge track. So I might actually try to repeat that. We'll see where the round scoring is. At this point, the last 3 standard tech tiles we have here is 3 points every time you colonize a Gaia planet. We have the 7 points, and then again turning your planetary institutes or your academies into being worth 4 power. So not a bad setup at all. I like the standard tech tiles a lot more than I like the arrangement of the advanced tech tiles. And now our round boosters. Moment of truth. All right. 4 points if you colonize a Gaia planet. 2 points every time you move up on a tech track. 5 points if you construct a planetary institute or an academy. Like that there. I will probably wait to the 3rd round to build my planetary institute, so that could work out very well with my strategy here. We have 3 points every time you colonize a Gaia planet in round 4. 4 points every time you build a trading station in round 5, and 2 points for every terraforming step you do in round 6. The yeah, these are both good for us. The end game scoring, again, the second one I put on there first, number of structures you have in a federation. Again, for the Atoma, that just means the number of structures they have on the board, -1, very simple. And then we have the number of sectors that we're in. So that does put a little bit of pressure to go up the navigation track. Considering that's an income tile, that's not the worst. We'll see. I mean, I could try, because I'm already up at the Q.I.C track, right? So maybe if we did like kind of navigation Q.I.C, economic, and the knowledge track, that would be an interesting array of how we can focus on this. I mean, I would not be going terraforming, so I would, every chance I get, want to use power to get some free terraforming steps from the power Q.I.C track if the Itars cooperate with that. So just kind of something to think about. What are the round boosters here? We get 2 additional power in your cycle and get 1 ore in income. We get 2 points when you pass for every resource or trading station you have on the board. 1 ore in income, 2 credit in income, 1 Q.I.C in income. Terraforming step, like to see that there, and 2 credit in income, and then 1 point for every mine you have on the board, and 1 ore in income. The last but not least, we need our map. Again, tilt it to the side a little bit. I'm going to have sector 1 over here. I'll be somewhere around there. Or sorry, sector 4. It's like sector 1, just not even close. And then we have sector 1 up here, like so. Sector 7 is in the middle. That will go there. Sector 5 is going to be up here, like that. Cool. Sector 3 and 2 and 6 are left, so 3 is going to be over here. That will go right there. Sector 6 is going to be here. And sector 2. Good. Looks good. All right, let's get the Itars. They're going to have 2 mines to start. They're going to have the 2 mines closest to the center, and again, they are really white, even though I'm using the gray pieces, the great gray pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be one of the two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be the second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so they go here and here. They are going to flip over a random card so we can get them their starting booster. All right. Yeah, I'd like to see that knowledge happen. The demos look like smarter space goblins. Okay. Xenos, not demos. I mean, yeah, right. The Xenos do look like they're definitely like ET's descendants or ancestors. I don't know, one of those two. Speaking of space games, got it. Very, very cool. All right, so we are going to flip this over. What do we get? Starting tactile for the Itars is going to be the 2 points for a trading station at the time you pass, plus 1 ore in income. And we're going to now get the rest of their deck set up. So what are we going to do? We're going to take, again, the 6 cards that have that green box at the bottom, plus card number 9 if we're playing on hard. So 3, there's number 9. Again, it just gets a second faction action into their deck to start the game. So those are the 7 cards that are always in the Atomos deck to begin a game, and on hard at least. And then to that we're going to add 1 more card. So I'm going to take 6 cards off the top here. These 4 cards come out of play, and then we're going to add 1 more card to the starting deck for the Atoma, and put these other 5 cards over here to the side. All right, we're going to take these 8 cards, shuffle them up. 3 cards are going to go sideways. That indicates it's the possible end of round. And then the other 5 cards are definitely going to be carried up by the Atoma, although again the first card on top of the deck is always a support card and is not carried out on every round. So we're going to put these here. I am going to put them behind my ugly mug, just off to the side of the screen here, and then we'll try to use this area to kind of show what's going on, and hopefully that'll be enough visibility. Here, I realized actually I can have this up. That will work. My first live stream, I had my face up here and it was just blocking everything, so I've tried to kind of refigure that. Now the Xenos, again, I started with a second Q.I.C. because I get 1 on my board, and then I get 1 because I'm on level 1 of the AI track. I want to put these 2 planets, or my first 2 mines, obviously adjacent to the Atomos, so I can start powering off of their development, again, because they're in their neighborhood. And now I have to decide, do I want to go here, which is 3 terraforming steps to the blue. That'd be rough. I could go here. I don't know if I want to do any Gaia forming. It's definitely very Q.I.C. intensive, so in some ways that makes sense for the Xenos, because again, once I get this out, I'll be getting an extra Q.I.C. every turn, but it would mean a 5th track that I'm trying to move up on some level, and I'm not sure that's going to make a ton of sense just looking at how these tech tiles are situated. So I mean, maybe I'll get the 1 there, but if I'm just going to go to 1 Gaia planet, I probably want to go to this one, because I can use a Q.I.C. to get out here, and then once I get my navigation up to level 2, this is only 1 terraforming step for me from yellow. So I think going here gives me more options, because then yellow, and then if I get my navigation really up, then I can get here. I can always come back here later. So I have a really solid way to get all 7 sectors by the end of this game, and I think that this one is going to make that a little bit easier because this is more central. So I kind of do like that path. This is only 1 terraforming step for me too, which is really nice. So if I start considering, this is a target, and then to the red, maybe then to the orange, maybe to the red, or I can go even this Gaia planet to this Gaia planet, and the brown's only 1 terraforming step. So there's a lot of more mobility by kind of going to this corner. And again, these 2 are just no-brainers because they just start immediately adjacent. If we start thinking about where the Itars are going to start developing, again, they're 1 terraforming step away for Gaia planets, they're 1 terraforming step for gray, and they're 1 terraforming step for blue. So not a ton of great options for them. I mean, you have here and here are likely first mines for them, but then they probably are going to start eating into those transdim planets. The browns and the reds are 2 terraforming steps, so we'll see how kind of they develop. But again, since their faction action isn't colonizing or anything, a lot of their actions are going to be on this board, with the Q.I.C actions and even them moving up on tech tracks. When I got crushed in my first game, like literally the Atoma ended up not only at the top of the economic track, but also ended up at the top of the terraforming track. And those are both like my primary targets that game. It's one of the reasons I just really, really got crushed. So we'll see. So I need to take my starting booster, my round booster. I will take, I mean, I could take the 2 credit and the 1 Q.I.C. I mean, I could also just take that terraforming action and just terraform that brown. I mean, it might make sense to go for this Gaia planet too, because I get the 4 points and I want to do it anyway. So if I can get 1 advanced tech tile this turn, use these Q.I.Cs to get me to colonize there, I think that could be a pretty strong move. Oh, I need to set these in my starting values. Again, I start with 15 credit, I start with 4 ore, and I start with 3 knowledge. I will go ahead and take the terraforming step. And we'll do that. So we go to the income phase. Income phase, I'm going to get 2 credit. I get up to 17 credit. I get 1 knowledge. That will go there. I get 3 ore, so I get up to 7 ore. My first turn, I do start the game with this. If the Atoma passes before I do, then they will get it and they will go first in future rounds. These Gaia formers come off. I do not start the game with any of those. Cool, so I think that's all good. So yeah, my first action, I am not in any danger of losing that. Let's go ahead and build a research station. So I'm going to spend 2 ore, 3 credit, and I'll put this here, and that will allow me to, if the Atoma does start, what's the word, upgrading. If they upgrade there, then I can start powering off of that at a better rate. It will cost me a point, but I'll be able to power 2. So I like that a lot. So cool, that is my first action, Atoma's first action. We have a support car, which is an upgrade action. They're going to move up on a random track. Of course they are. So they're going to move up on this track because, again, the support card says 2 coming from the left. They're going to get 2 points. They're up to 12. And notice this is card 17, so this is the one that was randomly added to their deck. Could definitely do a lot worse than that. So I'm not. So I'm kind of happy to see that as the one that was randomly added to their deck. My turn. I am going to spend this Q.I.C to advance my navigation abilities. I'm going to spend this Q.I.C to colonize a Gaia planet, and I'm going to spend an ore and 2 Q.I.C to go ahead and do just that. So I have spent both my Q.I.Cs, and I'm going to put a mine on this Gaia planet like I was talking about as I kind of thought through this first turn. I'm going to get 4 points for that, so I'm up to 14, and I think that will be a nice kind of place for me to kind of build out from there. Atomos Turn. That goes there. This goes here. Atoma's doing a faction action. So they're going to do the same Q.I.C. They're going to use the same support card to do 2 power Q.I.C. actions. So 5 from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to get 4 points for that. So Atoma goes from 12 up to 16. My turn. I am going to do my round booster action of a terraforming step. I'm going to spend 1 ore and 2 credit. I'm going to place this mine right here, and that is 1 terraforming step away, and I'm going to start keeping track of the various planet types that I have colonized, mostly for this tech tile when I get that down the road, so it's a lot easier for me to at a glance say, oh, that's going to be worth 3 knowledge for me at the time. All right, Atoma's turn. It's going to go here and here. Atoma is going to do another faction action, 2 coming from the right. See how this starts to fill up real quick against the Itars. They get 4 points. They are up to 20. So they still left me a couple of good options. Fortunately, I don't think I'm doing much powering here right now. I do want to go ahead and get myself a tech tile that will help kind of further my purposes a little bit. So I think it does make sense to do that economic track, although That knowledge track is really enticing. Maybe I'll do the knowledge track. We'll do the economic track next time. That ability to cycle 4 could be a really big game changer. So I'm going to get a research lab on the board right off the bat. I'm going to spend 3 knowledge, 3 ore, and 5 credit. We're going to upgrade this to this. And that's going to allow me to take a tech tile. I will take this. Let's move up on the knowledge track. So now next turn, well, the unfortunate thing is none of those give me the ability to get another knowledge. So I actually might move up another one. That might make some sense. If I get up to there, then I'll be getting 4 knowledge next turn, and I can start moving up on another track as well. Yeah. It's not how I would normally want to play it. If one of these boosters had knowledge, I'd be tempted to just, all right, I'll take the 4 that way. But I think this is going to be a decent strategy. I mean, if I could also get this tech tile, you know, I would have 4 that way, but it just wasn't happening. So yeah, we'll do a knowledge strategy to see if this can work out for me. Atomos Turn. Atomos doing a power Q.I.C action, 2 from the right. They're covering up that. They get 1 point, so they're up to 21. My turn, I am going to do this action that I just got. I'm going to cycle 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Atomos turn. They're going to go here. Possible end of round. It is not the end of round. So the Atoma is placing a mine. Endgame scoring does not matter because it is the second one. And again, number of structures in a federation is not something to consider for endgame scoring. The only ones that matter are going to be number of sectors. So if that was a top one that would matter, it'd be number of Transdim or Gaia planets, or it'd be number of different planet types. You would have to worry about those 3. You should do an ultimate, an ultimatum. Oh, is that the super hard? The Atoma has an extra card and gains 1 more point each time it scores. Yeah. I don't honestly. I've never played above hard. I just look at it and I just feel like it's so much management where you're just doing so many extra turns for the Atoma. It just never really seemed that fun to me. But it might be something I do at some point in the future. I think the hard level is just kind of like the level I like. I just find it, you know, um, again, it's 1 extra turn around isn't that much, but it just really adds up from a game time perspective. And I feel like you're doing more game management than game playing at some point. So that's one reason I kind of stick on the hard level. Anyway, I digress. So we have to figure out what are planets within range 2 from terraforming steps. Again, this is 1 terraforming step. This is 1 terraforming step for the Itars. I don't think there's anything else within range 2 that is only 1 terraforming step. So this is closest to me, so that is where they are going to colonize first. They are colonizing this Gaia planet. Since they colonize the Gaia planet, I can spend a point to cycle 2. Awesome. That's a really nice thing for me to have right by the end of the turn, and the Atoma gets 1 point. Now, since I have those 4 Q.I.C, those 4 power there, so I'm really glad I took this tech tile, I can go ahead and cycle this. I'm going to take, do I want credits or do I want ore? Credits or ore? I mean, there's an argument for both that's fairly strong. Get a Q.I.C. I'm going to get 4 ore next turn. I'm not going to get any credit. And you really are spending a fair amount of credit pretty quick. I can turn Q.I.C. into ore if I need to. But I'm going to get a Q.I.C. I think it makes sense to get the credit though. So I definitely want to get another research lab on the board next turn. I have a 4 ore, that's almost enough to do what I want to do. So let me get the credit. I'm going to take that. I'll go from 5 credit up to 12. The Atomos turn. Bam. Atoma does have another turn. They're going up on a track. Random number generators 4 from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Atoma gets 0 points. I guess I think I passed. The credit and that Q.I.C. there could be really huge because if I get a research lab, if I get a training station and another research lab on the board next turn, I think that puts me in a pretty strong spot. Oh, I can't pass. I have to do the knowledge action. I spend the 4 knowledge. I'm going to move up on this just to give me another chance at a jump. Oops, I moved up the wrong color. Toma goes there. It's like, why am I on level 2? I'm not. I'm still on level 1. So yeah, I moved up twice on this level. There's an argument to kind of hold on to it because then you can get the extra points next turn by moving up. But now I want to get those 4 knowledge in the beginning of the round. I'm putting these markers here to remind me to do the scoring for the Atoma at the end of the round. Atoma's last turn, they don't carry it out. It has the X, so they are going to take this. I'm glad they did not take the one in the middle. They're going to get the first player token. And then the Atoma is going to go ahead and get 2 points from the round booster to go from 22 to 24. This flips. I'm not building any more Gaia planets. We're going to take these cards. We're going to add 1 and get them set up for next turn. I'm going to go ahead and pass myself. All right, this goes here. This goes here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is correct. I'm going to pass. This goes back. Let me take the middle one. This comes off. And now we go to income. So in income, I'm getting 4 knowledge. 2, 1, 2. So I'm up to 4. I get 4 ore. I'm going to get a Q.I.C. from the round booster. And 2 credit from the round booster. So wait, credit goes to 14. Yeah, I think the things that make the most sense right now are research lab, or another trading station, another research lab. I'll take this tile, start moving up the economic track a bit, and then I can start worrying about the navigation track and whatnot. In round 3 is when I want to be able to build my planetary institute. So that is going to mean another research station, another trading station, and then that. So just kind of keep my eye on what I'm going to need resource-wise for round 3. The Atoma is going to be first, by the way. So Oda says, yeah, not like I like the super hard levels myself. If you take ore, you can build trading station for 1 more credit. Anyway, yeah. I could have. I didn't want to be super broke because I know what I wanted to do this turn, but that's not a bad strategy. I might have actually made myself too broke anyway, but we'll see. Oh, I gotta remove all these. So these all reset. So the Itars can just cover them up again. So here we go, Itars. That's their support card. They are moving up on their highest track. They have 2 tracks to choose from. Random number generator is set 5 coming from the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They move up on the navigation track and get a point. They're up to 25. My turn. Well, kids, I think they're going to start upgrading at some point, so I do want to have both of these developed so I can equally take advantage. I can equally power off them, be in the neighborhood of them on 2 different fronts. I think makes some sense. I'm going to spend the 2 ore and the 3 credit, go from 14 down to 11. I'm building this trading station, trading station here. And that is fine. The Atomos Turn. They're gonna go here. They're moving up on a random track. 3 coming from the left. 1, 2, 3. So they really like the AI track and the navigation track. They get no points for that. So it's all you get. You will like it. I'm going to move. Yeah, I think I'd start doing the economic track. So I'm going to spend these 4 knowledge, move up on the economic track. And since I moved up on a track, I get 2 points. It gets me up to 15. Toma's going to go. They're going to do an upgrade action. So they're going to do a upgrade from a mine to a trading station. That's their only option right now. So, and that is the leading priority is again trading station to a planetary institute. They don't have a trading station on the board, so we're going to go mine to a trading station. It's closest to me. They're both super close to me, coming from the top. So this becomes a trading station. I can spend a point to cycle 2. I will do that. Now I have 4 in bin 2. Atoma gets 1 point. My turn. I'm going to do my power action. I'm going to cycle 4. So I have 2 in bin 3 now and 4 in bin 2. Atomos Turn, would not mind them upgrading again. Nope, they're gonna do a power Q.I.C action. They're gonna take this one coming from the left. They get 1 point. Okay. Trying to avoid spending this Q.I.C. I could move 2 and cycle 2, and then 4 ore that way, which I don't hate. Especially since I have a way of replenishing my supply in the future. Really want to hold on to my Q.I.Cs if I can help it, especially if I'm going to be a little delayed going up the navigation track. Yeah, and I should end up with 4 knowledge again to start the next turn, so I do think this makes the most sense. Alright, I'm going to cycle 2, discard 2. Again, power is funny. I'm going to want it later when I make federations, but I think at this point, you can never really rely on these being open. So I'm going to cycle this 4 and take the 2 more ore. And of course, they're going to do an upgrade action now just to show me that was silly. No, they do the power Q.I.C action. 5 coming from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 points. They go from 27 to 31. My turn. I'm going to build a research lab, spending 3 ore, 5 credit. I'm going to turn this trading station into a research lab. I'm going to take this tech tile, and that moves me up on the economic track. And since I moved up on the track, I get 2 points. Toma action, possible end of round for them. It is the end of the round. They're going to take this, so they're going to take the terraforming step from me. This goes back. They're going to get 2 points from the round booster. They go from 31 to 33. This flips. And that's that. We're going to add 1 card to their deck for next turn. And flip these over, or just shuffle them up. So you have 10 cards in my hand. 3 are going to go sideways. 7 are going to go as their action cards. And they retain the first player. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. This goes here. Here. What am I? Like I'm forgetting. Oh, one thing I didn't do. So remember, there's a third dummy player just for the purpose of end round scoring and game scoring. That's going to be on number 6 for option 1, and for the number of sectors, and the end game scoring for number of structures in a federation. The dummy player starts with 10. I should win both of those. But getting the 7 sectors won't be the easiest. If I can get up to the top of the navigation track, I mean, I'm really focusing on all 4 of those tracks right now in my head. So we'll see. Especially when moving up the knowledge track the way I am, I do give myself a fair shot at getting pretty close to where I want to get come the end of this game, if not exactly where I want to get, which is always the goal. All right, I don't have anything I want to do this turn. Definitely want to get my planetary institute on the board next turn. So I know I'm going to need to do another another trading station, and that. So I'm going to need 6 ore and 9 credit. So I'm going to save my stuff, and I'm going to pass. So what tactile do I want? Do I want 2 more in my supply yet? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. It's going to make it harder to move. 2, 4. Yeah, probably don't want to do that just yet. So 2, 4. I'm trying to look at, like, cycling to the beginning of the round. I have this, so I can cycle. If I go above there, I get 3. Although I probably want to start moving up on the. Do I want to start going up on the navigation track next turn, or do I want to start? I can just start taking these 2 jumps. That might not be the worst idea. If I'm taking those jumps, maybe the 2 makes some sense. Reality is I'm just not going to have many trading stations or mines on the board, so it's not like I can be chasing points there. Let me take the 2 in my thing, and that will give me some flexibility. I think. Yeah, I don't hate So that's my round booster. These go away. And what do we have now? So I'm going to get the 2. So we're going income. So I get 2 more power in my cycle. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ore. So I go from 1 to 6. I get 1, 2, 3 credit. I go from 6 to 9. So doing that action again is going to be pretty important because I am pretty low on credit. I'm cycling just 2, so that goes up. I get 4, 5, 6 knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knowledge. That's actually really nice. Could do that. Maybe get 2 jumps. Huh, I wasn't even factoring that 2 in as well. So I think that will do. Gives me some options. Navigation track, nah. Alright, the Atomos first again. That was all of my income, right? I didn't miss anything. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 6. And 3. Yeah, we're good. Alright, so the Atoma's going to go this and this. Atoma's going up at its highest track. 1 coming from the right, so they really are crushing this AI track. 1 point. My turn. I want to... I mean, there is an argument to make a Federation this turn, although it won't be the easiest. I'll be close. Really probably want to get that tech tile before I go too nuts with making a Federation. It just really makes the math really stupid easy. So I'm going to spend 2 ore. 1, 2, 3 credit. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make this trading station here. So come back. Could I? No, I couldn't have done it at the end of last turn unless I spent my Q.I.C. I might have wanted to do that though. Might have made more sense because then income I would have had 3. No, I think I should hold on to my Q.I.Cs. To the argument of at the end of last turn, if I had, since this mine wasn't producing anything for me anyway, I could have just spent the Q.I.C. in my last ore and 3 credit, done that last action last turn, then I get 3 more credit this turn, but it would have cost me my Q.I.C. So it's just how much do I value that 1 Q.I.C. This goes here. The Atoma is doing an upgrade action. Again, they have to upgrade from upgrade priority. They have to turn this trading station into their planetary institute. I can spend 1 point to cycle 2. Atoma gets a point. Alright, my turn. I'm going to cycle 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Atoma's turn. Atoma is going up on a track, 2 from the left. So again, they're just chasing navigation and the Q.I.C. track. I don't love either. I mean, that if I'm going up navigation track, that lost planet's really a huge reason why you do that, right? So they're making that all sorts of interesting. Those jerks. Hmm. Let me go over one of those 2 thresholds. I guess the question is which one. Which one do I love? I will go up the knowledge track some more, I think. I'm going to really need every knowledge I can get. So I'm going to spend these 4 knowledge to go here. And I'm cycling 3. And then I could potentially cycle those down, get 2 more knowledge, and go up here. I like that a lot. I'm just really behind the navigation, but I don't think I have a better option right now. Especially with the Atoma kind of making it clear he's going to beat me to the lost planet, most likely. Atoma's moving up on a random track, 5 from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes there. Now they start moving up the economic track. My turn. I'm going to cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get 8. That's pretty nuts. I can just get 8 knowledge next turn. I can move up wherever the heck I want. I really like that. Yeah, I'm going to cycle these 4, get 2 more knowledge. Up 2 jumps around. Yeah, let's lean into it. Let's see what happens. Atomos placing a mine. Endgame scoring does matter, so looking for a sector that they're not in. The only planet, well, it happens to be only one terraforming step for them. Anyway, the only planet that they can reach that's in a sector that they're not in is going to be this one. So they'll colonize that. And that gives them that I can cycle 1 off of that because I have that mine in the neighborhood, and they're going to get 1 point. They get a 36. My turn of spending this 4 knowledge to move up on this track. Atomos Turn. They're doing a power Q.I.C action. 4 from the right. There and there. 4 points. 36 up to 40. My turn. I am going to spend this 4 ore and this 6 credits. I had everything I needed just on the nose to place this planetary institute here. And that is going to give me 5 points. I go from 15 up to 20. And I kind of like where I'm at. Next round might be a little underwhelming because I have no resources. But it gives me some potential for sure. And again, if I can just start moving up tracks fast, I can get up to the economic track and then kind of, we'll see what I can pull off round 5. Round 5, if I just get a bunch of mines out and plan to build a ton of trading stations, I mean, I can get, in theory, 16 points that way. My biggest weakness right now is going to be my lack of credit, I think. But we'll see. Atomos Turn, Pentel enter round. It is the end of the round, so they hold on to the first player. They're going to get this. Oh, they took the one I wanted because they're jerky jerks. That goes there. They get this. They're going to get 0 points from the round booster. So I was able to get, that's a nice 5-point, advantage for me. This comes off. This flips. It's there. We're going to have 8 cards on top of 3 for next turn. I think if I move up here, I think about taking this tactile action. I don't know how many planet types I'm realistically going to grab. It's not a great place for that tactile for sure. If I get 1, I turn. See what I can pull off, because if I can take actually even this tactile and get up 3 there and then take another tactile. So if I can get another research lab next turn, I have a really interesting opportunity here. I do like this tactile too, because if I grab this tactile, I have a Federation ready-made with those 2 structures, and you get Federations. I can start kind of picking and choosing what I want from the Federation bonuses, which could really help. So definitely have some options. We'll see. It's next round. It is 3 points for every Gaia planet I colonize. I'm definitely not chasing those points at all, so I'm not going to be too worried about that. So this comes here. Toma's done. My turn. Obviously, I have no more resources, so I will pass myself. And I think the credit, again, makes sense. A terraforming step. Can I use the terraforming step? Well, if I get up on the navigation track, I can use the terraforming step there. And that's not a terrible idea. So yeah, let me get that terraforming step, and I'll try to blitz the navigation track a little bit. We go to income. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 credit, 5 credit. So 2 from there, 1 from there, 2 from here. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 ore. So 4 goes there. I get 8 knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 8. I get to get a Q.I.C. because of my Planetary Institute, and I get to cycle 4 and 2, so I'm cycling 6, so 3 and 3. These come off. I think that's the tactile I take. Yeah, I think I try to form a federation this turn. I think that will help simplify some things. That income's nice, but again, there's only 2 more rounds of income, so it's like 2 or. Is that going to be more important than getting Confederation out earlier? Probably not. Toma is still first, so there's a faction action that they're not going to get, and then I'm moving up on their highest track. They have 2 that are tied, 2 from the right, so that goes up there. So again, bye-bye Lost Planet, almost assuredly. Which makes me a little upset. This comes off. Let me cycle this 4 and get some credits because I am very credit poor. So I'm going to go from 5 to 12, except the 7 credits again. The Atoma's going to go. Atoma's moving up on a random track. Random number generator, 3 from the left. They are crushing the AI track too. They get up to 43. What jerks? It's the official term. Yowza. Definitely need to get up on this navigation track a little bit. Also want to get up on that. I also want to take this. Can I do it all? I don't think so. Could take 8 points on the Q.I.C. if I form a federation. But I have to form... I'd have to form a research lab. So they built here, which is actually nice. So I can build another trading station there. I think that's the first thing I do. So I spend 2 and 3 to form a trading station here. Atoma's turn. I'm going to go there and there. Atoma is placing a mine. Endgame scoring doesn't matter. They're looking for range 2. There are no whites range 2. That's 1 terraforming step for the Itars, and the grays are 1 terraforming step for the Itars. Closest to me, those are both 3 away from me. Coming from the top, they are going to take this Gaia planet here. I am not within the neighborhood, so I cannot power off of that. They're going to get 1 point. I think I will do this. Let me do cycle 4. Toma's turn. Get more that way. There and there. Toma's moving over on the higher track. Random number generator 4 from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're taking this advanced tactile away. 1 point. They're up to 45. I'm going to spend this 4 knowledge to move up in the economic track. That allows me to cycle 3. Yeah, I should be able to make this work. Atoma's turn. They're placing a mine. Endgame scoring does matter. They want to be in on a sector that they don't have a planet on already. They cannot colonize any planets on sectors they are not on already. So that is a dud for them. So now we're going to go back to the normal analysis. Again, that is 1 terraforming step. That is 1 terraforming step. Closest to me is going to be this one. So they're going to get both of those now. Again, not in the neighborhood, so I cannot power off of that. They're getting 3 points. So they go from 45 to 48. My turn. I'm going to lose a power, cycle a power, and then cycle these 4. Now, they haven't done a lot of these faction actions, so it's really nice. Again, they lost 1 right off the bat. That was just a support card. So let me get 2 more ore, and that lets me hold on to all the Q.I.Cs I want to hold on to. Atomos Turn. They're going to do an upgrade action. Again, priority. All they have is their Planetary Institute and a bunch of mines. So now their next priority is going to be one of these mines to do a trading station. Closest to me is clearly this one. So they're going to take that mine off, make it a trading station. I can spend a point to cycle 2, which I will. And the Toma is going to get 1 point. So they're up to 49. My turn. I am going to spend 3 ore and 5 credit to put this research lab on the board. That allows me to take a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile and then move up on any track I want. I want to move up on the navigation track. Gives me a Q.I.C. Atomos Turn. There and there. They are doing another upgrade action. Again, they still have 3 trading stations left, so that's still their next priority. Closest to me is going to be one of those 2. Directional selection comes from the top. So this goes here. I can spend a point to cycle 2. I will. 1 point. They're up to 50. Caleb, I didn't get notified you were live. It's all good, man. You can do the playback, or you can watch from here and see. It's an interesting one. I like where I'm at, but I'm definitely trying a strategy that I don't normally try. So, but it's one of the things I do love about this game. It's kind of you end up doing. I'd never do this, but let me try this now. So, why not? I'm going to spend these 4 knowledge to move up on the navigation track so I can make use of this and colonize that planet. The Atomos Turn, potential end of round. It is the end of the round, so they're going to take this booster. They're going to get just 2 points for the round booster, so that's not bad. That comes off. I'm not colonizing a Gaia planet, so this can just flip. And they're going to add 1 card to their deck. Oops. Creating a Spacequake. And we will do that. So they have 1 card left over here. And we'll see. We're definitely in an interesting spot. So I just got that second navigation. I take this. The nice thing about that is it gives me another sector. And then I would be on 4 of the 7 sectors, right? So that's still kind of in the back of my head. How do I get myself in more sectors? It stinks to lose out on that lost planet, but I have a weird chance to kind of backdoor into it if the Atoma doesn't move there. I do want that lost planet, mostly because it just makes life easier in getting into another sector. Just like put that right on the board right off the bat. Plus it counts as a planet type, which if assuming I get this tech tile at some point would make some sense. So we'll see how I want to do that since I'm not doing a lot of terraforming otherwise. So Atoma's coming here, which is going to be bad for the boosters on the back half are not great for scoring. Although, again, if I have a bunch of mines out, now 4 points for trading station isn't terrible. So the Atoma is set for next turn. I'm going to go ahead and do this terraforming step. I'm going to spend this ore and the 2 credit and get this mine out here. Again, range 2, I have the navigation, so that makes me happy. My next step is to build a federation, or form a federation. I'm going to form this into a federation. So this is worth 4 points. This is worth 2. And I don't even need to place a satellite. So I'm just going to use one of those federation tokens. I formed a federation. I'm going to take the 8 points in a Q.I.C. That's going to get me from 18 up to 26. And I get the Q.I.C. Now I'm going to spend these 4 Q.I.C. This is a very weird Itar round for sure. The 4 Q.I.C. are going to cover up this. I get to take any tech tile I want. I'm going to take this one from the navigation track, which is going to move me up here and get me a Q.I.C. So you kind of see with the 8 knowledge I'm going to get next turn, I'm really still eyeing that lost planet. It's going to be tough, but we'll kind of see if the Atoma's deck cooperates. It's going to take me, I'm going to have to fade 3 of their turns, but I will have the knowledge to jump up there and get that lost planet, which would be pretty nice. And if I can get another tech tile, I grab this one. It gives me more knowledge. Yeah, we have some really enticing options. So that is the end of my round. I'm going to take from my round booster, take the 2 credit and the 1 Q.I.C. This goes away. These all come off. Cycling. I'll be cycling more than I have for sure. So nice little income here between the various boosters that I have. So in income, I'm going to get credit first. So I get just 5 credit. So I go from 2 to 7. Or I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ore. I go from 0 to 5. Q.I.C. I'm going to get 2. One from the booster, one from my Planetary Institute. I'm going to cycle all my power. And knowledge, I get 1, 2, and that's like, again, I have 4 plus 3 plus 1. Knowledge, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 4. So I have 9 knowledge to start the round. Atomos Turn. Don't take the lost planet from me. Oh, what a jerk. Yeah, Atoma goes 5 from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does go up there. Does grab the lost planet. So that, again, just comes out of the game. That's a wee bit unfortunate. So that navigation 3 is probably still important for me because I do want to get to that yellow planet. And it'll just make it easier for me to get all the sectors. So it's not like I totally wasted my movement there. It's just, that just makes me a little sad. Especially for those purposes. What do I want to do? So again, it's just, if I'm just chasing points, I think it makes sense. Let me get as many trading stations as I can on the board. And we'll see if the navigation 3 helps that. Atoma gets 1 point, so they're 52 to 53. Huh. Bummer. It's my official word for this is bummer. Can I cycle 5 to build in a planet type I don't have already? Is there a yellow or gray? Because I'm trying to, I have the 5 here, right? So is there a way I can take advantage of that? Question is, I could do one of these. Do I try to race up the Q.I.C. track now? Which isn't the most insane thing I've thought about. I could try to race up the terraforming track. It's just a bunch of QI. It's a bunch of ore all the way up, right? Obviously, I'm going to want to jump in there and there in that last round. So, you know, there's a lot of potential inherent in that. Bummer. I think I need to get to range 3, and that's going to give me a lot more options. And I can put a mine here. I can really make sure I lock up these sectors. Because range 3 gives me here, it gives me here. That's 3 terraforming steps. That's... that range is really off. This is going to be a hard sector for me to get into. I have to probably spend a Q.I.C. to extend in there. So let me spend these 4 knowledge, get up to 3 navigation. I think that's step 1. Makes some sense. Toma, they're upgrading. So they're upgrading another mine to a trading station. Closest to me is this one. I can spend a point to cycle 2, but I can't cycle any, so I will not. Atoma gets 1 point. They go to 54. My turn. I'm going to cycle these 3 now. I'm going to spend an ore and 2 credit, and I'm going to take that brown planet because that is only 1 terraforming step for me, and it's another place for me to build a trading station for relatively cheap because it is in the neighborhood of the Atoma, plus gives me a 5th sector. Atoma's turn. The Atoma is going to do a power Q.I.C. action. Again, they do it twice because it's their faction action. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 4 points. They go from 54 to 58. Remember to charge 3 power from doing an advance. Oh, right. I missed it. I think I had all my power there. So what I could have done, if I would think through it, so if I had all my power there, I powered the 3, and I was powering 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 this turn. Let me kind of think this through. So I had 3, and I knew I was powering 8. I could have 2, 2, 3. I actually could have cycled all 3 as credit. 1, 2, 3. I could have cycled all 3 as credit just the end of the round, and then when I cycled 8, I would have all ended up there anyway. So let me go ahead and do that now. So thank you for that reminder. And that's, I had 2 here now, right? Because I spent 5. Oh, I did this. That was the terraforming step. I spent 3. That's right. Somebody tell me if that's wrong. Hey, what's up, Daniel? How are you? Good to see you. So yeah, so in last round, Otis just pointed out to me I forgot to do this. I could have at the end of the round just cycled using the free action to get the 3 credit, and then when we cycled the 8 at the beginning of this round, it would have been 3 up, 5 over, and I would have been exactly where I was. I just spent 3 credit this round, so I should have 2 left here, 3 here, and that puts me exactly where I should have been. So thank you for that. Whose turn is it now? Toma. How many actions have I taken? Atoma has taken 1, 2, 3 actions. I have taken 1, 2 actions. I think it's my turn. Someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong. So I know I moved up to 3 navigation, and I know I built a mine. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and power. Ugh. I mean, if I'm looking at it from a Federation standpoint, I know I'm going to want to turn this into a, if I turn this into a planet or academy, right? Then that's 6 power right there. I mean, I do want to get the 4 federations, and obviously I only have 1, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to really accelerate this. Not sure what I want. I definitely want to get there by the end of this round. So let me just go ahead and do that now. So I'm spending 4 knowledge and going there. Kind of a little bit of delay. You just started doing the Atoma. Did I? Action, 57, 58. Did I take 3 actions already? One, two, 3. I think they have 3 actions and I just took my 3rd. Can't think of anything else I would have done. Yeah, I think this is right. This is their 4th action. Maybe I was going to cycle and I didn't. Maybe I undid that. I don't know. So I think that's fine. Thanks, Daniel. All right, so 4th action for the Atoma. Atoma's placing a mine. Endgame scoring doesn't matter. So they're looking at range 2. Again, their terraforming steps. White's going to be only 1 terraforming step. Blue and gray are 2. Gaia is 1. Sorry, white is 0 terraforming steps. Blue and gray and Gaia are 1, so that's the only option I think that they have. So that means they're going to start really moving into that territory. So they're going to grab this. I can just passively cycle 1. Did I cycle off them yet this turn? Right, the only opportunity I had to cycle off of them couldn't because I hadn't built. Grab that. I went. I couldn't cycle off them. So that makes sense. They get 3 points for that. They go 58 to 61. He's not saying that, I think. All right. My turn. I'm going to cycle 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see if I can't snag some more things from there. Atomos Turn before the Itars cover it up. The Atomos are doing an upgrade action. They're going to upgrade a mine to a trading station. They have 1 more trading station. Mine closest to me is this one. Oh, they're both within 2. So they're going to do random directional selection. That goes there. I'm going to cycle 1. So now I have all 5 in there. Atoma gets 1 point. And I really wish there was something that was 2 terraforming steps that was a lot easier to get to. I could go this way. That's not bad. If I terraform that and terraform that. That's an idea. Of course, I don't have access to any more terraforming steps. I haven't grabbed that booster since round 1. I want to worry about these Q.I.Cs. Probably not. I want to get this tech tile at some point. Let me make some trading stations. I'm going to spend 2 points and 3 credit. So I go from 8 to 5. I'm going to this trading station on the board here. That's going to give me 4 points. Because of the round booster, I go from 26 up to 30. I crawled back. You were already done with the Atoma. I did not see it, so you were fine. Cool. No, you're good, Daniel. I appreciate it, bud. All right, Atoma is doing a faction action. They're going to cover up this, get 4 points. They go from 62 to 66. My turn. Let me cycle these 4 before the Atoma takes absolutely everything away from me. Do I want to get more power? My federations are going to be a little further apart than is ideal. That is for sure. So I think that power actually might make the most sense here. That's going to be 4 Q.I.C, 4 power. Just if I made that into a thing, that's going to be 4 power. I want to make this. That's my federation there. Nah, I don't want the power. Give me the knowledge. Give me the knowledge. Take that. Get up to 3. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 knowledge next turn. That's going to get me up to 12, which is really sick. Give me a chance to run up some things. Atomos Turn. Atomos placing another mine. This is really unusual for the Itars. I mean, there's a lot of mine placement. Endgame scoring doesn't matter. Range 2, I think they're going to end up taking this blue planet, because that, again, that's 1 terraforming step for them. And I don't think anything else is going to come close to that, so they are going to grab that blue planet, get 1 point. They go from 66 to 67. My turn. Cycling 4, 5, 9. I probably just want to take that credit before the end of this round. And get another trading station. Again, chasing points. We're in a chasing points stage of the game, so I'm going to put a trading station here. And that gives me 4 more points, 30 to 34. I don't think it's going to make sense to build a planetary institute. It's not going to help me all that much. Those credits are probably coming more handy. I think I Planetary Institute's 2 power. Oh, that's why I do that. I'm not gonna. I don't have the 6 ore. I have 0 ore. So that's not great. I think I get this on the board just to get an additional ore next turn and income. But then I'll be spending a Q.I.C to do that, so maybe that's not the smartest idea. My income for ore next turn isn't terrible. I could get the extra 2 power I want there. That's an idea. So if I get that 2 power, then I don't cycle that. Alright, Atomos Turn. Pretty sure it's their turn now. Placing another mine. Wow. What are you doing to me? The Itars are like just loaded up on mine actions. Okay, Itars, I see you. They're doing range 2. This is 2 terraforming steps. That's 3. That's irrelevant. This is 2 terraforming steps. This is... Oh, that was where that's where I wanted to go. Ooh, those jerks. That. Oh, they have a lot of structures on the board. That's going to be a weird race. That's 2 terraforming steps. Nothing there, nothing here that I haven't already marked. That's 3, as I've already said. This is 2 terraforming steps. That is 2 terraforming steps. So I think closest to me is this transit planet down at the bottom of the screen. So they're going to grab this. That becomes a Gaia planet immediately. I could spend 1 to cycle 2. Sure. 1, cycling 2. 3 points for the Atoma. They go to 70. Now let me think this through. I could rescore a thing, which I think is a little self-defeating at this point. I'm going to hold on to all the Q.I.Cs I can and see if I can't. Another Q.I.C. back, which will give me 4. Take a thing. Question is, knowing the Itars and their affinity for just covering this up, do I take advantage of this now, get the 8 points, get the Q.I.C back? Because 8 points is a nice chunk of points. I don't know if these tech tiles are going to be all that helpful anyway. Wish I had a 4th Q.I.C because then I would take a tech tile. But obviously I need to form a lot more federations. Might need this Q.I.C as ore, which is a big consideration right now. I think I hold on to the... Or there's no place I can build... Well, there's no place I can build both a mine and a trading station this turn, so I can't get those 4 points that way. If I'm cycling 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm adding 2, so that'd be 4, and then 5 over. Alright, it makes sense. Let me leave that thing there. Let me do it. I'm going to get a bunch of resources when I get to the top of that. Let me take advantage of this now. Just get those points. So I'm going to rescore a Federation token I already have. So I'm going to get 33 at the 41 and get a Q.I.C back. It's a really strong action. So I basically cost me 2 Q.I.C to get 8 points. It's probably a good trade at this point in the game. Potential end of game. Nope. They're moving up on a random track. They're moving up on that track. Number generator is 1 from the right. My turn. I pass. I'm going to get this back. Thomas had a lot of turns this round. Let me get the extra Q power. And I think that will make the most sense. There needs to be a mine here. Cool. Done. I'm going to clear this off. Atoma, possible end of round. Take 2. That is the end of the round. They're going to take the 1 I just took. This goes here. Atoma's going to add their last card. They're going to get 6 points from that round booster. So you go from 70 to 76. And actually, it's a pretty low, mildly low-scoring game for the Atoma when I'm playing against Itars. A lot of times I've seen them down to like 90 or higher even once you get to this round into this last round here. So I don't hate this. They're going to get another 6 points though for this round booster, and I'm probably not doing much terraforming. So I do need to figure out a way to start building a lot of federations this round, but I'm going to get a lot of points on the tech tree, even though the Atoma did they snaked the navigation track away from me and took that lost planet, which makes me a little sad. Tempted to try to run up that terraforming track. It's a lot of ore. It's a lot of ore. Alright, this goes here. This goes here. And we are good to go. These all come off. I am first. We gotta do income. So I can gain the 2 power. And I already did the math. I'm cycling 9. So 4 up, 5 over. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ore. 0 to 6. I'm going to get 1, 8 plus 4, 12 credit. I go to 14. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 knowledge. I go to 12. I get 1 Q.I.C. because my Planetary Institute, and that is all she wrote. Okay. Remember, if I take an advanced tech tile, I can cover up any of these income tiles because they're not doing anything for me anymore anyway. So that's fine. I do want to get something on the track before the Atoma covers it all up on me. So I'm going to go ahead and cycle 4 and get... Ooh, do I want to do a terraforming step? Might be my only chance. Yeah, let me take advantage of that while I can and get into this 7th sector here. I think that'll be smart. So I'm going to take the terraforming step. I'm going to cycle 3. Ooh, sorry about that. I have that a little bit raised because there's an angle otherwise. So make sure this is back. So I'm going to cycle 3. I spend the ore and the 2 Q.I.C. Put a mine here. I have to spend a Q.I.C. to get out there. Or 2 credit and a Q.I.C. to get out there. I'm extending my range to get into that last sector. Again, this is totally a play just to get to that sector. And then that's going to give me 2 points. I did do 1 terraforming step. All right, that's the only way to guarantee myself to get into all these sectors. So I think that makes the most sense. Atoma's going to go 1 and 2. Atoma's doing an upgrade action. They're going to do... They have no more trading stations. They're going to turn no more trading stations to upgrade to. So they're going to upgrade a trading station into a research lab. Closest to me, this one's closest to me. I can spend a point to cycle 2. I will. Atoma gets 1 point. I'm going to move one of these out of my cycle, move this, and then cycle these 4. I do want to get a couple more ore here. This gives me some more options. Atoma's turn. Atoma is doing a power Q.I.C. action. From the left, 3 points. 1, 2, 3. They're up to 80. My turn. I think I get a Planetary Institute on the board. And then I could form a Federation there. And then I'd have 2 Federation tokens so I could jump and I can jump. So that's probably the smartest move. So I'm going to spend 6 or get down to 1. I spend 6 credit. I get down to 6. I'm going to put this Planetary Institute, or this Academy here. Since I formed an Academy, ooh, I'm going to do this one, sorry. I want the one that gives me the extra Q.I.C. I get to take a tech tile. The tech tile I want to take, I could take any tech tile I want, including advanced tech tiles, and then I could jump anywhere I want. I want to start moving up on the terraforming track, which is a little nuts, but I think will make a lot of sense. So I'm going to take these 7 points. But yeah, it's going to give me a lot of ore back, and I actually have a chance to really almost get that Federation token if I wanted it to. So I'm going to get 7 points. I go from 42 to 49. I'm going to jump up here. It gives me 2 ore back. Atoma's turn. Atoma's going to get a upgrade action. So it does have a trading station back now. So I'm going to do a mine to a trading station closest to me is this one. I get to passively cycle 1. I'm going to form a Federation. I'm going to take a power out of my cycle, put a satellite here. That is 6 points. Again, my faction ability allows me to form a Federation with only 6 points. I'm going to take the... I think ore is going to be the biggest thing I'm hurting for right now. Credit too, but ore especially. I can backdoor into maybe more credit there. So I'm going to take the 7 points. So I go from 49 to 56 and get 2 more ore. Did I give them their point? I left the stone there, so I'm thinking I didn't. So we'll get that 1 point. It's kind of why I use it. So somebody can let me know if I gave them points twice. I really don't think I did. I think when I often when I do my own like cycling off of them, then I'll forget to go back and make sure I give them their point. Toma is doing a power Q.I.C. action, doing it twice, so much for that credit. And they get 4 points. They go from 81 to 85. My turn. I'm going to try to get that real quick before they cover it up. But yeah, it's just tough. If they're gonna cut, I mean, there's only 5 things left. I mean, I might be losing all the ability to do that here, which would be sad. So maybe I'd just leave that open just in case. The power, Q.I.C, knowledge. Yeah. All right. Let me start jumping. Right. So I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna spend 4 here. I'm gonna flip this over. Go into here. Get 3 ore. Go from 5 to 8. I go from 6 to 12, and I cycle 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 terraforming steps isn't going to help me. All right, Atomos Turn goes here and here. Atomos placing a mine, range 2. Really crushing it with these mines today. So transient planet is 2 terraforming steps. They have 2 terraforming steps. This brown is 2 terraforming steps. Atoma's on gray, Atoma's on Gaia, Atoma's on. They are on blue. Doesn't really matter. It just kind of helps me visualize what's going on here. So this is 3. Again, same analysis as before. This transdim is 2 away. So closest to me, that's 3 away. That's 3 away, that's 3 away. So, and they're all 2 terraforming steps. So we're going to do directional selection. They're going to take this brown planet. Again, if we were playing with satellites, we should be putting a satellite every time the Atoma places a mine that is not adjacent to one of their existing structures. And then they get 3 points, so they're up to 85. 4, 9, 13. Sure. I think I try to grab a tactile while I can. That could be a nice 14-point grab. I would need 2 more federations to pull that off, which is one of the reasons you might want to try to run up the terraforming track. That's going to get really hard to do now. If I turn this into a planetary institute, I can potentially turn that into a trading station. That'd be expensive though. This one, I turn that into a trading station. That's a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more power. Maybe you could always turn 1 ore into a power 2 down here, but that's not the most efficient. I could also take a Federation token that allows me to turn ore into that allows me to get 2 more power in my cycle. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I can move up there. Oops, sorry about that. Let me form another planetary, another academy, again, just to make Federation building easier. So 8 down to 2, 12 down to 6. This academy is going here. Taking a tactile, I'm going to take. Ooh, I can take any tactile I want. Let me not do this till next turn. So this 12 to 6, 8 to 2. This is still in, yeah, this is going to make some sense. I'm going to thinking about. I want to do that. I'm going to spend 1 ore and 2 credit. I'm going to place a mine over here. Now I'm on all 7 sectors. Atomos Turn. But yeah, a lot of their mines, endgame scoring hasn't mattered, which has been interesting. Atomos moving up on a random track, then moving up here, 2 points, up to 90. Now I'm going to do that academy. So this goes down to 4. Academy is going to go here. Get to take a tactile. I'm going to take this tactile. It's 14 points. I do have to flip over a Federation token to do it. And now I can move up at any one I want. I'm going to move up on the Q.I.C track. Gives me a Q.I.C. That will do. Q.I.C. I can turn it to ore, which makes me happy. 14 points. I go from 56 up to 70. Knowledge. Alright. Should be in an interesting spot. Atomos Turn. Atomos moving up on a random track. Again, they're skipping this track because they're already at the top. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're now moving up on the knowledge track a little bit. If they leave all this open for me, that would make me really happy. My turn. Let me jump into the top of the knowledge thing. So I'm going to spend 4 knowledge. Oh, I have to get another Federation token. Right. So I'm going to spend these 3 to get 2 more power in my cycle. That gives me 5. Atomos Turn. Atomos moving up on their highest track. They're going to take this advanced tech tile away. 1 point. They're up to 891. My turn. I'm going to form this into a trading station. So I'm going to spend 1 ore, 1 Q.I.C, and 3 credit. Placing this here. Atomos Turn. Atoma is placing a mine, because of course they are, range 2. Endgame scoring does matter. So looking range 2 in a sector that they're not already in, they cannot carry that out. So they're just going to do the normal analysis. So terraforming steps, white, that's 3. That's only 2 for them. That was also Browns. That was they should have terraformed that last time instead of the brown. So again, it's the same number of terraforming steps, and it was from the bottom, which is why we ended up there. So that just kind of fixed that real quick. But I think they're going to end up here this turn, because that's 3 away. That's 3 away. It's from the bottom again. Yeah, this is going to be the winner. Cool. We're done there. 3 points. They go from 91 to 94. Ugh. Think. Gee, can I get to the top of that, which would give me another. I don't think I can get to the top of that without that. So I'm going to be 1 Federation token away. Being able to move into there, which is a little unfortunate. That's fine. I really don't need to get to the top. As long as I get close and then... Oh, but that Federation token. That's what I want. I don't think there's another way I could have played it. Let me look at structures here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oof. That's 10. They're actually going to tie with the lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I don't have many in Federations. Getting another Federation over here is going to be really hard. Just none of that's really coming together for me. I do have this thing just chilling in the center there. That's 4 power. Just don't know how I would pull that together. That would be 6 power. Can I get another mine trading station here? Yeah, it's not going to work. That's just going to be way too many power. It's my only chance though at a 4th. Just they haven't developed out that way. Maybe my trading station there is possible. Let me do this. I'm going to take these 5 power out. I'm going to put 5 satellites on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take... Need more ore. I need more everything. I could replenish, I could repeat that. That makes some sense. I won't get the tactile, which is probably, oh, that's a knowledge. Yeah, let me do the 8 in the Q.I.C. I'm all confused. Now, give me the 8 and the ore. No, that's not ore. 7 in the ore. I already have the ore. So I want the Q.I.C. I meant with the Q.I.C. Give me the 7 in the Q.I.C. In the ore. In the credit. That's what I'm. Final answer. So I go from 70 to 77, and I take 6 credit. I go from 1 to 7. Alright, hey Brian, what's up? Just on notification. Hope you have a phenomenal plan. Yeah, thanks, Brian. This one is making my head hurt. So I didn't do that ever, but it's fine. It's kind of not going to work for me anyway. Atomos Turn, please just finish. Alright, they're done. They're going to get 6 points from the endgame scoring, or from the round booster. So they go from 94 to 100. And then we'll see how this pans out. They only ended up with 5 sectors, so I'll just kind of do that. And they've ended up with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they have 10. No, 11 structures on the board, so they ended up tied with the Atoma there. I have already beaten them here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 structures on the board, but only 6 are in federations. I could somehow combine those. Be a big ass though. Alright, so they didn't get into there. 1 open federation tile. Take a tech tile with this. I'm trying to think if I can get 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps. Two. Oh, let me not take this credit. Let me take this knowledge. So it's 1 less point, but 2 more knowledge. Oh, sick. Alright. Let's try it this way. Not sure it's going to work, but I'm trying to get there and then jump into there. 4. Take a tactile. This is where you start getting these advanced tactiles. They almost, because they require you to flip a thing over, they can be really dangerous if you don't have it wholly mapped out. Think this can do what I wanted to do. So I'm going to spend 4 to move up here. Let me cycle 3, and I get 2 Q.I.C. How many different planet types am I on? Just brown, orange, Gaia says it's 4. Alright, I'm going to do this to get another Q.I.C. Cycle this to get 2 credit. I'm going to cycle this 4. Cycle it again to get 2 more credit. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to be just short a million different ways. I'm going to do this 4 to take a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile, it gives me 4 more knowledge. Moves up here, I get 2 Q.I.C. back. This is nuts. Alright, we are going to just not going to be able to form that 4th Federation, and that's what's going to kill me. Yeah, I really shouldn't have taken that advanced tech tile. I took it way too soon in the round. I got excited, and I just took it too soon in the round. Just knew it would give me a jump, but it kind of put me in a bad spot. So I did this power Q.I.C. action. Can I get another Q.I.C.? Could just do all of that. It's really strong. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but this is pretty strong. I'm going to spend the 4 to get to 6. I'm going to flip this to get here. It gives me 9 knowledge. I go from 6 to 15. Alright, I'm going to then cycle 3. Spend 12 of this to move up 3 times here. That means I can cycle these 3, get 2 ore. I just don't have the yeah, I just don't have the terraforming step. I just don't have the extra jump. I'm sorry, I don't have the thing to get on top of that. Can I get a Q.I.C? Probably not. Ooh, I could do this. I'm gonna spend. Oh, it's so close. So close, but yet so far. Still a ton of points. I'm gonna spend the. Yeah, I can terraform that. I can put a Gaia planet on that, but then I'm still just really, really far away from what I want to do. Let me see if I can colonize a planet that has 3 terraforming steps. That might make the most sense here because then I get 6 points from the round booster and kind of just finish this thing off. Yeah, because there's nothing else. I had 1 more Q.I.C. I could do some cool things here. Take this tech tile. Yeah, I really just shouldn't have taken this tech tile. I could have, because I would have had another thing and I could have flipped and I would have had that. Just give me some more options here. So the question is, do I want to rescore a thing? I can't even get to that last Q.I.C. Cannot do it. So I'm going to... So close. I'm like 1 knowledge away from 1 more jump. Yeah, the ore is not a problem here. So do I just go ahead and score that? That's probably just a better use of scoring. Instead of getting really fancy, I'd have to spend all these Q.I.Cs anyway. All right, let me just spend these 2 Q.I.Cs. I'm going to score here. That's 3 points plus 4 points, so that's 7 points that way. So even if I terraformed 3, it would cost me more, and I'd only get possible 6 points. So I'm going to get 7 points. I go from 76 to 83. That is that. So it's going to be tight. I think all of that's going to edge it out, but it's still not the most impressive score I could have had for sure. Um, no bears. No bears in space, man. No space bears. So I pass, and we're going to score this up. So the Atoma is going to get 15 points because they tied with them on the second endgame scoring. So I guess on 100 to 115, they get 6 points for the number of sectors. They go from 115 to 121. I'm going to get 18 points. So I'm in all 7 sectors. So I go from 83 up to 101. And then I'm going to get 6 points because I am last in number of structures in a federation. I go from 101 to 17. And then we're going to do, I have 5, 8, 10 resources. Oh, I can cycle this at the end, so I would have actually 11 resources. That's still divided by 3 rounded down. That's 3 points from that. And then we're going to get 4 points for every level. 3, 4, and 5. The Atoma gets 1, 2, 3, 4 such jumps, so it's 16 points there, so 121 to 137. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 jumps there, so that's 48 points. That gets me up to 158 and pulled it out. Yeah, you get to this. This is like my problem with Gaia. Sometimes it just feels really min maxy, and that was like a really bad like rookie mistake when I took that advanced tactile. Like, don't use these if you're planning to go up the terraforming track at all, and you're going to get that extra Federation token. Do not use any of those on an advanced tactile until you get that extra Federation token back. That could have really padded the score. I probably would have been, I'm guessing, over 170 pretty easily that way. But just the way it worked out, the Atoma played a very weird game, kind of left a lot of this open for us, and I was able to kind of, overcome the fact that I had some suboptimal strategy in that last round. But I mean, it's a 14-point grab. I mean, like, is what it is. The thing is, I could have just grabbed it later, um, assuming, knowing that I was going to get those. I was, well, again, the risk of not grabbing it when I did was that if the Atoma had covered this up, you can't always count on the ability to grab another tactile. So in my defense, if I can kind of speak out of both sides of my mouth here, is that you don't have the guarantee that the Itars aren't going to cover up all the power Q.I.C actions, and if they don't cover up all those if they cover up all those actions, then you're kind of just SOL because you're like, oh, I don't have another way of getting a tactile. So I knew when I formed this academy, hey, let me guarantee that tactile. This is a weird game for the Xenos. It's not something probably went wrong with my strategy if I didn't form a 4th federation. That knowledge track is super interesting though. I mean, you look at where you're like, hey, dude, like you just all of a sudden have, again, I'm at the top of 2 tracks and I'm on level 5 of 3 others. That's a really, really crazy knowledge game. Yeah, Daniel, what's up, man? Wow, you caught up a lot in the end. This is my thing with this game. I have now played it 5 times and I still just don't see the engine. Yeah, it's rough. This game took me a while to get to the point where you're kind of trusting the process a little bit. If I can, be a Philadelphia guy and talk about the Sixers slogan. um, for those who don't know, if you're overseas, NBA, the Sixers were intentionally terrible for 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 7 years. And it was like, trust the process, and it kind of worked out for them, sort of, maybe. But yeah, Daniel, the engine's tough. You want to spend the first 3 rounds building your engine and the last 3 rounds scoring in general. There's exceptions to that rule, and I definitely broke those rules a few times in this playthrough. I will tell you that one of the things that makes this game exceedingly hard to learn is the round boosters and the round scoring tiles and the end game scoring tiles really make this a very different game every time you play. You read a lot of early reviews of this game. It's like the Terrans are overpowered, they're so strong, and then you play more. It's like, well, the Terrans can be overpowered sometimes. It just depends on what else is in play. And when you're playing against the different Atomas really do feel different. This is a weird game for the Itars. It was a weird game for the Xenos, but it's almost like every time I say that with Gaia, it's like everything's a weird game. Like everything is just unique. and it kind of plays off different. Like I was playing with the Geodens, who I think is one of my strongest factions, and when I was playing it live, the round scoring tiles were so weird. Again, if I can overuse the word weird multiple times in one live stream, the round scoring boosters are so kind of different that it didn't allow me to really optimize what I had going on with the Geodens in a way that kind of left me struggling. But like on hard, the Atomos going to score between 135 and 150. That is almost guaranteed 95% of the time. If I could just pull a number out of thin air here. So it's like my personal challenge. I want to score more than 150. I still feel like I left a lot of points on the table in this playthrough, the way it played out, that I probably should have scored above 175, with the combination of tiles I had. That said, none of these round boosters were giving you point grabs that made sense for me, right? The last game I played as a warm up, I had this round booster, and I did a very similar strategy, and I was getting 9 points every time I passed when I had that, right? So that can really add up, and I crushed the end game scoring in a way that I just wasn't able to get this last federation to come together. I mean, that's that's a stretch. I would have needed one. Even if I No, I couldn't even make this part of a new federation because that was adjoining. So I would have needed to find a way to have another research station or another trading station on like that transit planet, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power. That's a lot of power. But had this game had the end game scoring, where satellites, maybe I approach it different, right? These planets tended to be very stretched out. In the game where I scored 180, again in the warm-ups, I was able to have two federations that were very similar to this, and I had a third federation that was only one satellite. So I had like that, and like, I only had one. I had four federations. Only one of them took more than one satellite, right? So it really kind of adds up. Um, Embiid, yeah. Oh, I totally got blasted once in a game due to goals and abilities. Oh, yeah. And sometimes you just don't realize it because you just don't see it happening. At the end, you could always craft a neat but tough to figure out plan to get lots of points on one slightly more experience. Yeah, yeah. I see that. And this level is fun for me. If you're playing on the next level up, the Atoma, I'm assuming it probably exponentially increases. I'm assuming they're going to score somewhere above 165 almost every time. And you're kind of putting yourself in a place where you have to min max it. Like that last round took way too long for my taste, and thanks for sticking with me with that. But it does get that min maxy where it's all like come together. Right? How can you make this engine work? And you're left with all these interesting decisions on tech tiles. You're left with interesting decisions on federation tokens and trying to make those work. And things like that. Thanks again to Otis, who pointed out that I didn't take that 3 power. All those, you forget one benefit, it could really snowball. You really need to make sure that you're remembering things, and that's hard to do. The one thing I used to always do at the beginning, if you want to make this easier, is I would forget the score the Atoma, which is now why I use this stone. And if a stone's still there, I assume I didn't score the Atoma, and then we'll go ahead and score them up. So Brian Skolick, it's really Ben Simmons. Yeah, he's back, I guess. We'll see. Daniel, funny thing is, this is by far the driest game we own. It's some of my usually themed story. Like, brother seems to love playing it. Yeah, it's dry. It's dry. I really like it. I like the puzzle. I think it was like no pun included that talked about how like this tree is like candy, even if for people who are drawn more to fantasy, like there's something about Gaia by adding this tree and giving you all these benefits as you go up. It just makes a lot of interesting decisions. I do wish that instead of giving me 14 boards, or 7 boards that double sided like this, it's just like give me 14 boards and give me a little bit of flavor text. I mean, like, why do I have this like native person with a big coat on a brown planet? Who is he? What is he about? I mean, I'm not expecting like TI4 level, storytelling here, but a little bit. Like, why is there a cockroach like living on a brown planet? Why do I have ET's distant cousin just like looking really pissed off? Like, why do I have space chickens? Like, what is going on? Who are these people? It is what it is. But that's so Euro. I mean, it's not like Uwe Rosenberg's giving you like a tons of narrative. Yeah, as you're like trying to build out your cave. It is what it is. It is almost as bad as not taking your artifact after a monastery. Oh yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, this is one of the snowballist That's not a good English. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Snowballiest. I like snowballiest. Dude, dude, use it enough, man. Webster's was always adding words. I think snowballiest should be next on the list to be added. What's a good beginner faction from Zach? The Bears, Zach. Clearly go with the Space Bears. For those who don't know, Zach pops in my thread every freaking week and puts a picture of a bear. And if you're really like a solo playthroughs diehard, which I'm assuming there's like one of you out there, and I appreciate it, you might remember my Robinson Crusoe playthrough when I got mauled by a bear like 20 minutes in. Yeah, that's why. So that was super fun. Plus, we played Seventh Continent, and Zach and I were gaming, playing some Seventh Continent, and I might have gotten us killed by going fishing when I shouldn't have, and we ran into a bear, and that was great. So, beginner faction, I think, is the Terrans, and the Terrans are they Gaia Project added it did a lot of interesting things from Terra Mystica, but the main difference is going to be the Gaia forming and the way you can turn transcendent planets into Gaia planets. Again, the Atoma doesn't play by the rules when it comes to this stuff, so like this my playthroughs, you don't want to go look at my Terrans playthrough where what you're doing is you are taking power out of your cycle to actually put a Gaia former on these transit planets, and then the next round you can turn it into a Gaia planet. And then what makes them so strong is that for most factions, that's a big sacrifice because you're taking power out of your cycle, and then it doesn't actually power up in the income phase. And then in the Gaia phase, you get this back. The Terrans doesn't have to sacrifice as much because what happens with the Terrans, not only do they get benefits when they have their planetary institute on the board, do they get benefits from taking power out of their Gaia cycle into the rest of their cycle, they actually push it into the second bin as opposed to the first. So it's a lot easier for them now to even push it into the third bin and start using these power Q.I.C actions again. And then they can immediately take it out of their cycle again by continuing the process of, terraforming these transit planets. Now, the drawback of the Terrans is there's only so many transit planets on the board, and if another faction really tries to do any of that, it could really eat into your edge. And if you have round boosters that aren't awarding you with points for Gaia planets, or if you have endgame scoring that's not giving you points for Gaia planets, sometimes your edge can be a little minimized. But what I really love about the Terrans is they teach you the game. They force you to learn the Gaia forming while still being rather simplistic in how they're put together, right? So I think they're a great place to start. I mean, the Xenos aren't bad. I mean, there are not a ton of them that I would say that are really awful to learn with, but I do think the Terrans is the best to learn with because you learn all of the game while learning one of the more straightforward and one of the more powerful factions for sure. Worse than a space. I mean, they should have beginner flavor, double-sided like Spirit Island. Sure, yeah, that would be fine. I mean, if you even yeah, if you rank the fact if they actually decided what was beginner, moderate, or advanced, that'd be good. I mean, best cods are a big struggle for a lot of people. The Gleans can be a big struggle. They're a little underpowered. The Lantids were actually considered overpowered in playtesting, so they nerfed them a bit, so they're a bit underpowered now. But they have some simple mechanics. You can actually build mines on other people's planets. You get rewarded for that. So I think the thing that took me the longest to appreciate in this game was how different the factions were, and they really do require you to lean into different edges in the game. Brian Skollick, worse than a space chicken? A duck in a dungeon? I guess so. Is there? What's the dungeon duck? What is happening? A duck in a dungeon. I guess there's a duck. Are we talking Mage Knight? I don't know what's going on, man. Or it could be like it's just like some crazy too many bones thing, because God knows they have enough zany things in there. Bear. Oh, the bear is the best. You kill them often in Seventh Continent. Yeah, you get good at killing bears. Like pretty sure. I have not played the game in a while. Actually, my friend has a copy, which has my copy, which I'm probably gonna let him just keep for as long as he wants it, maybe ever. Yeah, I just haven't played it very. I find like once you beat the curse once, I mean, the idea of combining curses and stuff like that, it's like, it's just a lot of time, and just not enough to bring me back to it. But I do think Seven Citadels will be interesting. I know I have a couple of friends who backed that Kickstarter for sure. Bears are your kryptonite. Yeah, bears and Daniel knows my other kryptonite. So, but bears and manticores for sure. The duck in the dungeon reminds me of Munchkin. Okay. Otis, I mean, think technically you can pick your faction based off your setup. You probably could. I don't know. I just kind of like, hey, this is who I am, and then let's this is who I'm gonna be, and then let's kind of change the puzzle on me and see if I can adapt on the fly. And sometimes it's easier than it is. Oh, Brian Skallick is on it. He's Brian Skallick. Otis, you know what's up. All right. Well, I have not played enough Munchkin. Clearly, I need to rectify that at some point. So look, no live stream next week. I've had a long string of weekly live streams, which have been a blast. But we are going to do a top 10 next week. I got a top 10 Maze Night scenarios. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I bumped the schedule around a little bit. I'm gonna do a live stream of Descent because I love it and I don't understand the recent reviews, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna do the intro scenario. I think it's been done enough, and honestly, I don't think it's. You don't have skills. I think there's aspects of the intro scenario that are a little bit weak to try to present what the game's really about or how complicated it can get. But I'm going to probably do scenario two, and I'm gonna try to pull some things up. But I look Descent. It's not for everybody, but I don't think a lot of recent reviews have been very fair to what that game is and what it offers. There is a great game there, and it's really a solid, ridiculous challenge. I mean, I'm playing on hard on two characters, so that might be part of why I'm just having a very different experience with that game. Um, but it's really good. Laugh aloud. That card sucks. Munchkin makes good memories. Cool. I think I played Munchkin once, like years ago. Like, I mean, probably a decade or more ago. I have not revisited the experience, so we'll see. Brian Scott can relate to Descent as well, especially for solo. Yeah, no, it's great. The first few scenarios, I'm like, all right, we'll see. I mean, it's good. I still didn't understand the reviews. I was like, this because you know what it was, Quince's review was like so bad. I'm like, all right, I gotta play this game. I gotta see what's going on. And I was just like, huh? This is not my experience with this game. And yeah, it really goes solo. I'm playing two players now with a friend, and it's great, man. I really like so much about what it does. It's very ambitious. It seems like they have plans to add some more adventures to it, and I think they're going to continue to tweak the system. And Fantasy Flight knows how to print money, man. And they're going to support this game for a while, and I think it's going to get better and better for sure. And winning, of course, it's not good but fun. Yeah, no doubt. Otis is saying that Munchkin's not good, but it's fun. Yeah, I definitely have a number of games with the right group. The games I don't love, but you give me the right group, and I'll have a blast. That'd be fine. Duck of Doom, the OG Munchkin card affair. And hi, what's up? The Quemi Total. Brian, I disagree with the Shut Up, Sit Down review as well. Daniel, yeah, Munchkin. Some people may love it. I had a horrible experience with it. There is zero reason with so many other options to go back to it for me. Descent is awesome from Zach. Which is a lot from Zach. Zach and I played, and we had a glitch where our berserker kept having one life, and that is like a glitch in the game that can happen. And I hear that you just need to basically save and quit, and then reload, and you will no longer have that issue. But it's still a fantastic game. The same Otis, the same person won with divine intervention. I mean, you got God showing up at your game of Munchkin, man. That is high class in your gaming group, man. That's Otis is walking with the Lord for a game of Munchkin. It's not intended to be good, really. No, dude. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I heard the guy who designed it, one of the lead designers. I think he just passed recently. Was very beloved in the gaming world. So he was just a really good dude, and so it's Munchkin definitely seems like one of those games. The right group, just friggin' kick back some beers and then have a blast. I mean, I feel about that way about something like this. I mean, like what? Cthulhu Death May Die. Is that gonna win like a strategy competition ever? No, but dude, I get to chuck some dice, kill some monsters, and just have some blast. I mean, that's definitely there's such a huge space for that in the hobby that I really love. I just have friends that won't ever play this game. They're not going to ever want to play, even Scythe would be too much for them, right? Whereas having games like Death May Die and Citadels, I think is wacky. Like honestly, I win more in Citadels when I don't even like think about who I take. I just randomize it, and it drives my wife nuts. That's why I always lost in Citadels. She was always in my head. She always knew who I was. I was like, forget it. I will nullify your advantage. And now I win. It's great. Munchkin is all luck and gang up on the leader. If you don't take it seriously, it can be fun. Not a brain buster for sure. Yeah, it's my vague memory of it. Vague, cobwebbed over memory of of uh, Munchkin for sure. But I mean, again, like Munchkin, I mean, you better not be taking yourself too seriously if you're called Munchkin, I guess. But we'll see. I mean, I'd rather play Munchkin than Dangerous Darts, but that's a not to rile up the crowd too much. God, oh, because at least Munchkin knows what it is, right? And like, I feel like my issue I always come back with Too Many Bones is like it doesn't always know what it is. I feel like it's like, are you a strategy game? Are you just some zaniness? Are you? They try to do this weird hybrid that some of those events just I'm like, really? I wish there was like two event decks. I guess you could do it yourself, but it's like, hey, these are the events if you just want battles, or these are the events if you just want some zaniness mixed in, or you can kind of, I know like Darkest Night does that, where they have different event decks where you can, no, I guess not event decks, but location decks, which can change the experience. I kind of wish that the Too Many Bones did something like that, because sometimes you get a string of events that just aren't what I'm looking for at all. Yeah, if you try to be serious, you're doing it wrong. I'm assuming you're still talking about Munchkin for sure. Cool. Well, this was super fun. If you want to again see what's coming up, I did make the necessary adjustments on my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. You can kind of see what's coming down the pipe. And there's a lot I'm trying to get on the channel in the next few months. Again, Darkest Night, Cloudspire, Street Masters. I think I'm going to try to get a playthrough of that. Obviously, Descent. I'm going to start the Strength for Strength series, get some level 6 adversaries. With Spirit Island, definitely more Mage Knight. Gaia, I know I have 3 factions left. I'm ending with the best gods, and I think that's in January. So, probably about once a month until we kind of finish this off, and then I'll figure out where Gaia fits for the rest of the channel. Daniel, there should be a Munchkin versus Apples to Apples crossover. Yeah. I have never found, Brian, I've never found anyone who won Dangerous Arts. Anyone who says they have is probably lying. I mean, I've won it. I mean, look, you take the 2 status. Bye, Otis. Let's have it going, man. Thanks for stopping in. If you take the 2 status dice and an attack die, and you're just hoping for stun and poison 3, I mean is what it is. Like, yeah, it's. But I think I read someone broke down the stats where it was like it's like 55-45 or something, that if you play that strategy, you're gonna win like 45% of the time or something like that. But it's like just flip a coin. You might as well, man. Brian says take care. Cool. Thank you for stopping by as well, sir. These chats really make these playthroughs fun. So and help me when I'm doing stupid things like forgetting to power my 3 cycle my 3 power, as Otis pointed out earlier. So I always appreciate that. But yeah, that's it. I nothing else to say. My phone's been blowing up for a while. I probably should check to see what the heck's going on with that. But I will be back in 2 weeks with a live stream. I hope to see you all then. And until next time, happy gaming.